Welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. Yes, this is part 2 of 2 for the double raspberry Belgian Blonde, which really, to be honest, is really a golden strong ale now. We'll get to that and reason why. We're right on the edge of blonde, but double raspberry blonde sounds better, but yeah, it's really a golden ale if you look at the profile. And it's a Cascade, 2 pounds of Cascade raspberry Belgian candy or candy syrup, whatever you want to call it, is what we put in there, which was not sponsored. I purchased that. Getting a little low, down to 6 taps, so I definitely need to get things moving, kick it up a notch, and get some beer in a keg for 2021. So we're going to move this. And before I do, don't forget, like, subscribe. Thank you again for all the sharing and support. My youngest son's birthday is coming up. That's why I'm choking. Coming up in about a week, turning 19, and one of his good friends' mom makes amazing cakes. She made a tres leche cake, which I'm choking on now for some reason. Strawberry, kiwi, and pineapple throughout. It's amazing. If you hear some it's my wife in the background enjoying it. So just figure I'd give you a heads up. Somebody else had commented that they like to see what I drink beyond my tap, and probably about half of what I drink is commercial or at least craft brewery. So got Founders Mosaic Promise sitting here that I've been sipping on earlier. And this is what's great with a keg. And for anyone who doesn't keg, you don't have to commit to a 12-ounce bottle. You can do, like I had about 4 to 6 ounces of a Saison. I was checking my Imperial and my Ebergarden Voc or craft, however you want to say them, quick yeasts, IPAs, just to see how they were doing, and hit about maybe 3 to 4 ounces of each of those. So you can have a ton of different beers, but keep it at like 4-ounce pours. That's one of the cool things with kegging that I just really enjoy. If you're not stuck with 12 ounces, you can do 16, 24, 32, or 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter. So it's something to be aware of. And the Mosaic from Founders is very nice. So if you've watched this rodeo before, you know how this works. This was starting to get some coloration, so I ran it through quite a bit of PBW, let it run for literally about 15 minutes. It's hot as it will come out of the tap. Then I ran it through some Star Sand for another 4 to 5 minutes, and then just some warm water. So right now we've just got warm water in here. We have our little blow-off valve. Somebody mentioned the Spundit 2.0. I do have it. I don't want to use it for this because I just want the air to be released, and I don't want any liquid to shoot out, and that's what the little ball is floating around in there. I will be using this with dry hopping. When I'm dry hopping in my kegs, because there will be some fermentation still going on, and I will have some pressure, and I want to make sure that last little bit of fermentation is under pressure, at least about 5 to 10 PSI. This will be my go-to, and I have another one from Duotite. I'll be checking that one out, maybe comparing them both. I have something where I'm looking to brew 2 double IPAs back to back just to do some comparisons. Maybe we'll use 2 different Spundit valves just to see how they work. I do love this. This is like the Rolls Royce. It's only available on eBay. Spundit 2.0. It's not a sponsored video in any way. It's just quality product. And for the sponsored ones that I do, which are very minor, they're not like I'm making a lot of money. It's like somebody's hooking me up with a little bit of product. It's because I like the product and I really enjoy the product, so I reach out to that vendor and they offer to say, hey, we'll hook you up with this, or hey, don't worry about that. And maybe it's the cheapest advertising they've ever done, but hopefully it's worth it for both you, me, and everyone out there. And it's only for products that I think are quality. So let's get moving. Some double raspberry Belgian Blonde, or as I said, golden ale. And just to give you a little heads up, we were sitting at 1.073 for our original gravity, which is pretty high. And I was expecting, according to Beersmith, to hit about 1.015. Knew it would probably hit about 1.012. It hit 1.008, and I've seen the bubble pop a few times, so it might be on the edge of 1.007, but we'll go with 1.008, which according to Beersmith puts us at 8.7 ABV. I mean, that's kind of kicking it up there, which definitely puts us in the golden ale profile and not in the blonde ale, but you know, it is what it is. So you can call it a high ABV or an imperial blonde, you know, that marketing thing. They like to spin it, you know, session instead of pale ale, or sessionable IPA instead of pale ale, or imperial IPA instead of double IPA, or vice versa. So it's all in how you say it. There's beer companies, like I mentioned once in one of our videos, that has a rye pale ale that I think is amazing out of Gainesville. They don't put the word rye anywhere in it. There is rye in it, but they're afraid that if they put rye in it, people will run the other way. Still a really good pale ale. So, okay, it's not super clear, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm okay with that. Even though we use the Clarity Ferm, which did probably help quite a bit, we have a huge yeast cake on the bottom. And on top of that, we're gonna turn it around and we're gonna add a little gelatin to this. That gelatin should help clarify that even more. I was kind of shocked it didn't clarify more, but it is what it is, not a big deal. Okay, so yeah, I forgot to put the gelatin in, so we're gonna pop this thing open. If you're not familiar with adding the gelatin, basically, you want that about as clear as you can go. And what you'll do is you can take half a cup of water, add anywhere from a quarter to a full teaspoon of just unflavored Knox gelatin per 5 gallons. Most people will go with a half a teaspoon. Normally I do a half a teaspoon. I'm trying a full teaspoon to see how it goes. And you add that to the keg. You're also supposed to do it with a half a cup. Sometimes I do it with a little less, anywhere from a quarter to a third, and then I add a little bit of the rest of the water cold, which chills it right down. So, little trick. You always leave a little gelatin in there. It is what it is. Put that over there, or we know I will knock it off and break it. So, put our lid back on. Bang it around, make lots of noise. You know how it is. Okay, there we go. Let's find our air side. Take our air on here. Purge the air. Okay, like I said, if you've seen this rodeo, you know exactly what we're getting ready to do. Okay, so we're gonna put this on here. There we go. Make sure there's no air in there. There's not. Got our keg right here. I know it's kind of in the way, but it is what it is. Okay, we pop this off. Set it on top of there. Smells nice. Close this bad boy. Move my beer back there so I don't drop it or knock it over. And knock everything else over, that's okay. Not sure what we're doing different here today, but obviously I have issues. Okay, here we go. Okay, we pop it off. Should be little to no air in there. Move the keg over here a little bit. Our little pump right there. And I'll put a link down below, but this is the same transfer pump you find on like Northern Brewer, and Salt More Beer has it now. Pretty much everybody has it. And we'll lift that up to get the kink out. So here we go. We'll speed things up. Like I said, it doesn't always stop. Sometimes it lets the beer come through for some strange reason. I use these for a lot of little things, just pieces of wood from elevating just about anything. You name it, it's probably been elevated. Smells really nice. Tastes nice. Used to be carbonated. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna clean this keg up a little bit, wipe some things down, cold crash it, carbonate it, and and we'll try it out, see how it goes. I know it's only been a few minutes for you since I actually transferred from the carboy over to the keg, the double raspberry Belgian Blonde, and threw it in the keezer, dropped the temp, kicked the carbonation up, but it's been almost a full week for me. So it's been killing me. And it still needs about 2 more days to be really perfect on that carbonation. But I've been taking little sips and we're getting there. But we do have a problem, and it's not a bad problem, but it's a problem. It could be bad for some, but it's not. Whatever. So we're calling it a double raspberry golden blonde ale after a golden strong ale, which is a Belgian ale that it aligns with better now. And the reason I say that is our brew house efficiency was like through the roof, since pretty much it was just 10 pounds of Pilsner and 6 ounces of acidylated or acid malt. So yeah, that stuff's got a high diastatic power, and we were way up there, and it came out beautiful. But that puts it as 8.7 ABV because that Abbey 530 Whitelabs wouldn't stop eating the sugar. I mean, oh my gosh. It just kept munching and munching and munching. We got down to 1.012 using the tilt, and I'm thinking, okay, it's done. 11, 10, 9, 8, and it finally stopped. So yeah, it's really dry. It's 8.7%. So it's definitely kicking. And remember, we had the grain to drain with the Cascade, which I actually threw the shirt on that I bought, and yeah, I got hooked up actually. Got hooked up from that. Sent me this coconut that we haven't brewed with yet, but it's a beer candy syrup from Cascade Brewing. And yeah, I turned around and I actually bought, because we had the grain to drain, I bought 2 more pounds of raspberry and decided instead of doing American Blonde, we'd do a Belgian Blonde and kick it up a bit. And yeah, just kept kicking it, and here we go. Like I said, it's got a little bit more carbonation, I think, but looking amazing. Put a little light on there, let you see. Yeah, there we go. I mean, looks great. It's got a little fog to it, but it is probably going to be a little clearer than that even, which is quite amazing even for a Belgian. They don't always like to clarify that well, but looks great, looks really good. I did gelatin it, but one of the things I've been using lately on the clearer or lighter colored beers is Whitelabs Clearity Ferm. I bought a bunch of these from label peelers actually. They had a really, really good price on them, so I bought a bunch, and I'll keep using them, letting you know how they come out. When we did the 15 black yeast comparison, they were super clear. I think there was a couple that were a little foggy, but the majority of them were crystal clear. And that's all I did. I didn't put any gelatin in those. So I'm kind of impressed. This Clarity Ferm is really to help with gluten and to separate some chill haze. But maybe that's my whole problem. Maybe I just had a lot of chill haze initially. That bottom is almost crystal clear. Actually, it's pretty damn clear. I'm not even gonna say it's that hazy. It's got a hint, but I mean, come on. Splitting hairs there, so. Now, I hadn't noticed the raspberry that much when I was taking little sips because it wasn't carbonated, but now that I got bubbles popping, I can smell it. It's got a nice, subtle, it's not real strong. It's definitely noticeable, but it's not real strong. About halfway through the sip, the raspberry kind of settles out through your tongue. I have another problem. It drinks like a 6%. I have no, what I call fossil fuel tastes. I don't taste the alcohol. It's not in your face. Tastes more like around a 6. I'm gonna say around a 6. Not even a 6.5 or 6.6, but a 6. Yeah, that's a problem. When you're drinking almost 9% and it's tasting like a 6 and you're slamming it down going, it's all good. You get to sleep well, very well. And if you're a mean drunk, yeah, we're not giving you any. So just saying. But yeah, it tastes amazing. Remember, we use 2 pounds of this stuff. So the raspberry is very subtle at 2 pounds, but it is a big beer at 8.7. I don't know if it's hiding in between or just needed that little extra boost for, 2 pounds. We put it directly into the liquid for the fermentation. We did not add it to the boil. I want to make sure to preserve as much of the raspberry as possible because I was told that heating it can cook off some of the aromas. So we didn't want to do that. And that's something to be aware of anytime you're adding any kind of flavoring, or, and you know, even with hops, is the more aeration that that liquid has, whether it's through steam or in general, the more aroma is going to actually just escape or be washed out of that beer, or could be washed out of that beer. So something to be aware of. But yeah, I'll be sharing this out because this is dangerous at 8.7, but it's very crisp. It's got a great taste. It has a little spice. I wish it was a little spicier because I did use the 530 and I did use the Styrian Goldings. And I used to be really good at making IPAs and pale ales that had a lot of spice in them. So I need to kind of get back to my roots and figure out what I was missing and what I could do to make it spicier. When you have any kind of fruit and you add some nice spice to it, I think it is amazing. This is a great beer. I'm not knocking this in any way, but what I'm saying is a little more spice is just something I like. I mean, probably could have added some rye and I would have been in heaven. Love rye in my beers, but I left the rye out. I want to keep this nice, straight, and simple. So, cheers. Thank you again for joining us here at Bitter Reality. Don't forget, like, subscribe, keep sharing. It's been huge. I appreciate it. Looking to hit a couple more thousand this year worth of subscribers. Appreciate every single viewer and subscriber. Thank you very much.